Required courses. Now many of you, especially current or recent students, will roll your eyes at hearing the dreadful topic. Well, I'm here to discuss the requirement of performing arts classes in schools nowadays. I'm a recent high school graduate who's been doing theater for many years, both in school and in the community. I know it might seem ridiculous to have a requirement to be in a performing arts program, but it really is beneficial to students to do so. Having a required performing arts class provides students with a new outlet for creativity, exposure to culture, and provides a deeper look on everyday events. This new outlet is very expressive for some of them. Some of them aren't good at sports or math, just like the kids who are good at sports might not be good at theater, band, or choir. It can provide an outlet for skills that students probably didn't think they had before. For example, my cousin was in the awkward middle school phase, and she didn't have a lot of friends. She was in math club and she did band, but she didn't really have a place where she belonged. Well, when she got to high school, she decided to do marching band. It was her freshman year, so it was a very awkward time, as it is for most of us. But after a while, they became her family. She plays French horn, and each instrument within the band has a rehearsal time where they rehearse 1 to 2 days a week by themselves within their instruments. So they become their own instrument family almost. But when they get to the end of the semester, they all combine to become one band, and they become a big family. So she became part of their family, and they really helped her through her freshman year. She's now ending her sophomore year, and she's happier than she's ever been because she has something in common with people and she can enjoy school now. Theater is also very vast when it comes to outlets students can use for their creativities. Students can study singing, acting, and dancing, the usual stuff, but it's not just that. There's also tech categories. Tech categories involve designing and building sets, costumes, props, lights, sound, and they can even direct, which is really cool to watch them develop their leadership skills. And a lot of clubs nowadays don't support the leadership skills, but within performing arts programs, they can build upon them, and it's a very useful skill for nowadays as an adult. And exposure to culture is also a huge part that plays into performing arts programs. Many iconic plays and music performances are also covered in core classes, such as Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Mozart, etc. These are all studied in depth, so students get an even deeper understanding in performing arts programs on why those stories are so important to today's events. So they understand how it relates to them. Some of them are not interested in it at all, but once they understand why it relates to today's times, they'll get a better understanding. The soul thrives through art. Rashad once said, "Before a child talks, they sing. Before they write, they draw. And as soon as they stand, they dance." Art is fundamental to human expression. The quote is inspirational, yes, but there's so much more behind it. All of it is true. We as humans need to express ourselves, and what better way to do it than through performing? Ignore my cat. Different countries exposed through plays and music also help. So students aren't normally exposed to different cultures in school settings because their language classes only cover one culture. Let's say a student's taking a French class, they would only study the French culture. But through performing arts classes, they can study so many more cultures than they would if they just had it in a regular class. As said before, humans need art to express so many cultures and have to express themselves through different forms of art, so they can study different forms of subcultures in arts. Performing arts also provide a deeper look into the themes of nowadays. Students are exposed to hard, real-world issues every day, such as races being suppressed, school shootings, and sexual abuse. Many don't know how to cope with it, but almost all of today's issues are covered in many ways through performing arts. By seeing these different issues in another light, such as a scene performed by peers about race being suppressed, singing a song in choir about soldiers coming home, or even performing a dance about sexual abuse, it helps the students cope through their creativity and understand the traumatizing events. By performing them in a safe environment, they can be supported throughout their career. Performing arts also have an effect scientifically on students as well. They are known to be more rounded in their thinking skills and more perceptive to emotions. To understand more about the science behind it, let's take a look at this video.
Now this works in a lot of weird ways. It's been shown that listening to pleasant music boosts your serotonin, which is the brain chemical responsible for good feelings, and regular bowel movements. So, double score? Processing music is one of the few regular daily activities that we participate in that involve both hemispheres of the brain. You know, everybody usually has a dominant hemisphere, you know, that whole left brain, right brain thinker theory, but people who study music tend to use both hemispheres of their brain more, making them better at lateral thinking and creative problem solving. Listening to music also engages your hippocampus. Now that's the bit of your brain that handles long-term memory storage, and that's why listening to old songs sometimes brings back memories that you've forgotten. Even somebody with Alzheimer's and dementia can have recovered memories through listening to music.
As you can see through this video, many scientific discoveries have been made from performing arts and through music. Performing arts isn't just about having to play the recorder in 3rd grade. It involves forming friendships within an instrument group, finding your way through a dark time, and developing different skills that can pay off in the long run. It creates and grows communities, helps youth understand why things are the way they are, and gives them a way to express themselves. Everyone can connect with each other through performing arts by creating love and sharing it with the world, thus creating more love. And that's just what the world needs right now. Thank you.
Here you go.